Hey, oh, how are we doing today?
Morning.
Good morning. Whoopsies. Okay, let's rotate this. Here we go. How are you doing, Christina?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, fantastic. Did you have a good Christmas?
I did. I did. It was very chill and very nice just to hang out with family. How about you?
First Christmas with the hubby?
Yeah, and actually we dated long distance, so it's our first Christmas together ever. We've
Get
actually
the
never been in
out.
the same state for Christmas. Yeah.
Holy cow. Does
Yep.
he drink hot chocolate and do all the Christmas stuff, or is he a diehard guy who does like pizza and Chinese or something like that? Like any.
I'm a diehard gal, and so I we actually talked about going to the China buffet, and then we looked at our leftovers from other Christmases and decided that was a bad idea. So
Oh, all right.
But it was good. It was good. He watched White Christmas for the first time, so that went really well. Oh.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, and good morning to everyone online. Fernando, Mark, Altenter, Stina. Looks like we got the whole crew here. Excited. Aaron, good to see everybody. If you guys had a good Christmas, put in the chat something that you did at Christmas that was just really special to you and your family. Any traditions that you have. One of our favorite traditions is on Christmas Eve we open one gift, and that is a new set of pajamas that for the next day, and
Oh,
then all the pictures are everyone's in the same kind of pajamas, and
that's so sweet.
it works out really really nicely, but very photogenic.
And then
Um,
you got to stay up all night New Year's Eve in those pajamas making a puzzle, right? That's the next
oh,
step.
that is a fantastic evolution of that. We have not thought of that. So uh, that is a good one. I like that. Uh, good morning, everybody. Good to see everyone here. Rolling in. Who's Scrooge? Oh, what the? I don't know. Did PJ's kids? That's awesome. Good deal. Mark's having a similar thing. Oh, good, good, good. All right. Well, today we want to talk about New Year's resolutions and uh, what we have been thinking about to do it for a New Year's resolutions. And Christina, when I think about a New Year's resolution, I like to think about, okay, what am I going to do for myself? What am I going to do for my work?
Mm,
What am I going to do for my community? Professionally, those are kind of like how I try to structure that, right? Because my locus of control is internally, right? Like I can only choose and do things for myself, right? Like I can't control other people, but I try to like, okay, how can I help, myself, help my job, help my community? That's kind of my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on how you kind of pick a New Year's resolution?
I tend to think of it as attainable goals. So
Mm,
things that are outside of my control, I try not to set myself up for failure. Um,
okay.
so things like getting a promotion are not on my list because that's
Mm,
a little bit outside my control, right?
yep. Yep.
Um, but other than that, I mean, I try to think about like my locuses of interest, kind of like you were talking about, right? So
Hmm.
self, family, community, and larger data community. And then within self, there's, I don't know, job, relationships, those kind of things. So it is true, Fernando. I am. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
You're speaking at Sequel Bits. Isn't that in England or something like that? Get out.
London.
You're flying over there?
Yeah, I did last year too. It was awesome. I think I think that's where we met, Fernando and I, and we had a blast at one of the they had like it was D&D themed, and so it was this
Oh,
amazing party that they threw, and it was so much fun. Yeah.
oh, and Alta Enter is going to be joining you.
Yay.
I,
You gotta
I
go,
am,
Chris.
yeah, I'm very averse to flying. I do not.
It's okay.
I don't like it in any way. Like if they can invent teleportation, I'm down. Like I don't have a problem with the other places in the world. I only have a problem with the going to and coming back. Oh, that's my
Take a boat.
Achilles heel. So take a boat. So
You'd have
I'm
to leave
beginning my
now, but you should
6-month
do it.
journey. I
Yeah.
shall set out on horseback and arrive.
Uh,
Oh,
planes and automobiles, just add a boat in there.
yeah. Can we drive? Is there a land bridge? Let's get a land bridge. Once we go back to that, aren't the like wait, are oceans rising or falling? I always lose track of that. If they're falling, hopefully a land bridge, then I can.
I think they're raising. I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh, they're going the other way. All
Yeah, unfortunately.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, good deal, good deal. So, one of the things that I think in fact, I don't think, but I'm going to start off with what my goal is um, for 2024, and that is around my own personal training capabilities. So we're going to flip over to my screen. I'm going to talk about this. So if you're not familiar, Microsoft has these wonderful learning paths out there that can really help get you up to speed in a whole bunch of different pieces of technology. And you're looking at, in fact, I will copy and I'll share this out into our channels. These are the fabric learning paths that are out there. And I know I'm supposed to be up to date on everything that's out there. And I'm going to admit, I have fallen a little bit behind. I haven't been able to get up to speed on all of these things or pass all of these classes. But one of my New Year's resolutions for this year is to complete all of these learning paths. I think this is a reasonable goal to set. What about you, Kristyna? Do you have any training goals yourself that you're thinking about?
Yeah, definitely on the learning paths. My problem, Chris, and I'll just be honest with you, is the
Mm-hmm.
learning paths for me. I learn best on the job. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the best things I love about consulting. There's constantly new things that are popping up, and so then there's constantly new things for me to learn. But I would love to knock out some training on Fabric, but also Python is a big goal of mine this year. You might see my little robot back there. I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn how to program movements as a fun way to learn Python.
Oh.
Um, yeah, so trying out different stuff, but that's definitely in one of my learning goals. I also recently purchased the definitive guide to DAX. So,
Oh, that
I
is
know.
fantastic. I know Mark Walters was just talking about that. In fact, no, that book did not make the hold on to it uh, till we, even during our move
Oh,
back away. So sorry.
you'll dig
But
it out eventually. But yeah.
yeah, yep, yep. All right. Well, hang on one second. I want to go and I want to explain why I like to do these things. While I think it's important to know about it and do it on the job, and I agree 100%. Let's talk about Kusto query language. Now,
Yes.
I had to learn Kusto query language. Come on now, open up. There we go. I had to learn this on the job because there was an immediate need for it. So I learned it, I got through it, and I just did it. But I didn't learn it, right? Like I learned how to
Yep.
do what I needed to do with it, but I don't necessarily know if I know everything that is encompassing in it because, like you said, you have to do it for the job, right? So I think one of the big advantages to getting through and these learning programs is you get that broad overview of all the different capabilities, where it works, what it does, and I think that can be really helpful for people when it comes to learning what can you even possibly do with this, right? So I like
And is
these
there a
learning
better
paths.
way? Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you only know what you know, and if I don't know another way, then I don't ever choose that other way. And sometimes there might be a simpler path. So I really like this. And honestly, so this goes hand in hand with log analytics and something that
Oh,
I think actually fits into some of the things that we're talking about. So, and I guess I'm going to reflect back upon one of our previous live streams, and then I think we might pivot to uh, you might be able to expand upon it. We talked about CICD, right?
yes.
All right. So one of the things in CI/CD is the automated deployment of code that moves on to the service, right? Validation, testing, that type of thing. You can use Kusto queries against a log analytic integrated Power BI semantic model to know what tables, fields, and DAX expressions are being used by your users, even in a
What?
self-service environment. So you can write SQL, you can write Kusto queries to find out who's querying it, how often they're querying it, all of that stuff. Um, I would very much like to be able to have as part of my integration testing an
Mm,
evaluation, right? Like, okay, hey,
mhm.
here's the huge list of fields that my users are using. Here's what I'm deploying. Maybe I'm deploying a breaking change. Wouldn't I like to know that? Wouldn't I like to communicate that out to my users? Like, hey, this change is going to go in. It's been queued up for a production deployment.
Yeah.
Notice that these reports of these things are going to break. I think that'd be a wonderful addition, right?
Yeah. Well, especially if you think about things like I know hierarchies have been the biggest pain point for me with those kind of deployments because your visuals break. So if you have anything with an existing hierarchy and you change the hierarchy, it all
Yep.
breaks and it's pretty
Yeah.
hard to diagnose. So that kind of thing would be amazing. Yeah.
Right.
Even communicate like, hey, you've got this report out there, you made it, so you're maintaining it, and here's what's going to change. Be sure to change this. So,
Right.
and this is how. Yeah.
Especially if you're running and you manage an enterprise model and
Mhm.
you've got hundreds and hundreds of reports and potentially even thousands of self-service reports, knowing what's going to break in those situations can be exorbitantly time consuming when you're doing a validation testing and a regression testing.
It's another
This could,
full-time job, Chris. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. In fact, I've had multiple people where that was their only job, right? Like okay, you take these reports, you take these reports, you take these
Mm,
reports. We've got to test this stuff out. And
yep.
at the time before log analytics, we'd actually published to what we called a dark model. So go into
Ooh.
production. It would be our dark model. We'd be completely refreshed. And then we'd have a set of dark reports that were the production reports pointed to that dark model. And we'd validate that everything was up and running. Everyone went through and tested things. And oh, horrible, horrible, horrible. Um, yeah, yeah. Chuck Jacobson has a great question here. He's asking, why does KQL have special access to things SQL and DAX on top of the same core data? Um, uh, this is a good question. Kristyna, how much do you know about KQL and Kusto?
So I've attended a few sessions on it. I haven't used it myself. So maybe I
Okay.
am lying where I do try and learn things before I have to use them on the job. But this this one, it's as far as I understand it, it gets special access because it's originating in Azure, right? So if you've got these different Azure functions or Azure Log Analytics, for example, is a great example. Those things aren't built using DAX and M. They're built using KQL. So you kind of end up with a different set of code to play with. But as far as I understand it, part of it is because of how it's structured, and part of it is how it's made to be real time. So DAX and M are not necessarily made to be real time. They can be real time, but this one is kind of as lean as possible for that kind of operation. But
Yeah, Kristyna, that I think is spot on. We're talking about queries that are hitting like the logging of Azure, like
yeah,
Azure, right? And so there's some standards that are in place to some extent that allow all of it to function and work, and but it's different than SQL and DAX, and that's why it's got a special syntax, and that's why it's got a special UI, and there's only a web portal, right? There's no like you can't access it in Management Studio, right? We're talking about a cloud only thing. So,
Yeah.
I think that's fundamentally why. And so in this
And
case, you have more book knowledge than I do. I only have hands-on knowledge. I have no book knowledge. I want to get that this year.
yeah, I've been learning this is totally slightly off topic, but I've been learning some JavaScript actually to do some scripting in Excel.
Mm.
And I
What?
feel exactly that. Yeah, oh, it's fun. It's fun, Chris. You just get ready. There'll be a blog post on it because I love it. Let's just put it this way.
Excel plus JavaScript? Holy cow.
Hmm.
I've already got a no-dex columns like whole like thing going
Sorry,
here.
Chris.
Like, don't make me have a no JavaScript Excel. Like,
No,
what
no, no.
what?
No,
Why?
it's automated, Chris. So I put it into Power Automate. Power Automate picks up the script. It does the transformations I need to Excel so I can load it into SQL. That's it. Don't get too worried. It's nothing crazy. But
All right. Well, hang
but
on.
my point was
If you want to pick your own no dex column T-shirt, you can go ahead and just click on the link on the screen right here, and we're happy to.
we're gonna
Make
have to
sure that
get you like coasters with that so you can just start leaving them at conferences so people can just pick them up.
There you go. That is brilliant. Sorry. What?
No, you're good.
Hang on a second. You're using JavaScript to load Excel and move it to SQL Server. Say this again.
No. So I've got Power Automate as an orchestrator because I've got a customer who only wants to afford for Power Automate, right? Which is totally understandable. So they've got all these Excel files that are currently being manually manipulated into tables and adding different columns, doing different lookups, that kind of thing, adding certain ETL steps. And the Excel sheets are manually formulated now. They don't want that anymore. They want to be able to just drop the file somewhere and it gets loaded into SQL. So one way to make all those transformations without a human hand touching the Excel file is through JavaScripting. So it's OSTS is the
Yep.
extension for the file.
Yep.
So you can have Power Automate run those within Excel.
Oh,
so I've been learning it so that I can do it. But my point was, I have also been thinking about wanting to learn the book version of it, similar to how you have right now with Kuska, because I feel like I'm missing a trick. Like it's working and it's working fast, but that doesn't mean I did it the right way. So
I get you. I understand that is a great point, and honestly, I'd almost rather have JavaScript versus Visual Basic. So
yes, yes.
Good on you for not going down that path. So.
There was a debate, and I'm glad that this one won. So
yes, because I've heard rumors of them eliminating Visual Basic for years. I pray that comes to an end in my lifetime.
Now you can do Python in Excel workbooks, so I think it's coming soon.
Oh, good. Because honestly, I'm only fighting this fight. This is my career fight. It's the one. There are lots of things I'd like to see disappear, and okay, that's fine. I'll let someone else pick up that flag and run with it. I'm picking this one. No dex columns. That's mine. That is my.
It's the hill you're dying on. You can only die on one hill at a time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna die on it, but I'm gonna fight up that hill like Atlas and his boulder, or what? It was Atlas held the world. Who pushed the boulder up the hill every day, and then
I can't remember.
It was down and.
It was in purgatory too, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Dax columns are my purgatory. It is my hell. Yeah. Every time I encounter them, it is a fresh hell. So
nice. Good.
All right.
We're staying positive here today. Yeah.
Yes. And we're trying at any rate. It's a new year. It's gonna be good. All right, so Fernando asks a great question here. And Microsoft Fabric is huge. Learning paths are foundational. I don't imagine the certification exam to be at that level. In order to pass and really prove a solid understanding of it, we'll have to. And then you go to specialized blogs. What do you think, Kristyna? What's your take on this?
My take on this is it's always been this way, right? So if you look at even the Power BI certification, passing that doesn't mean you know enough to handle edge cases. And so
Okay.
I think it's going to be similar, but at a larger scale because Fabric is larger, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. At least I think, because this is just like the first level of certification, right?
Right. No, that's true. Yeah. I'd anticipate we get more and we get more
Hmm.
specialized certifications as well.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I would also I'd throw out a pivot here, and I'm just gonna put a full on disclaimer. I have failed every single certification test I've ever tried.
Mm.
Like I get 69% like clockwork, and I like it is all I ever get. So I'm because I'm horrible at names. Like
Mm.
to me, it's you click on the thing and then you do this, right? And I can never remember the names, so the testing is never a good thing for me. Uh, Execution wise, hey, that's
Mm.
fine, right? Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But uh, so so I'm from that frame of reference. My thought is the first level of certification,
Yeah.
because fabric is so broad,
Yeah.
is that it should take you above and beyond what's in the learning paths, but it should not go too deep beyond those learning paths,
No.
right? Like, like, okay, if the learning paths are up to your waist, maybe you're going to go up to your chest in depth wise. I don't think, and I could be totally wrong, and but I don't think it's going to go much above that. But we don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Have you?
No, but I think it'll follow an 80/20 rule, right? Like
Yeah.
80%
Yep.
of the material ends up getting covered, 20%
Hmm.
is not.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I failed the first. No, I took the Power BI certification class when I thought I knew Power BI, and I did not know Power BI well enough to pass, so I understand. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
full disclosure, I just haven't taken. I passed that one like 3 years ago, and I haven't taken another one. But I think that they're great. I think they're really great, especially if you don't have anywhere to test your knowledge and you want to make sure you know what you know. They're awesome for that. And they're also awesome for proving your value, especially if you're in a company review situation where maybe you're looking to get promoted or you're looking to hop into a new role on a new team. That's where I think certifications make a huge difference in your career. Um, Otherwise, it's just never come up. Not to say it won't ever come up, but yeah.
yeah. No,
And I
gosh.
totally agree with with Altenter there.
What's that?
Failures are, she said, failures are just a sign that you're stretching, which is great. She's totally
Yep.
right. Yeah.
I completely agree. Oh, where is it? There is. Let me see if I can find it really quick here. SS bipolar. Oh. Oh no. Well, Matthew Roach has. For those of you who don't know, Matthew Roach is a member of the Power BI Cat team. He speaks a lot about. Uh, um, uh, he speaks a lot about. Why can I not find his website? He speaks a lot about data culture. Here, I'll pop open the screen and I'll share his link. Um, and he wrote a blog a number of years ago about a certification, and it's
Mhm.
in here someplace. Maybe I can find it. Thoughts on certification. Yes, this is the one. Oh, look at that. We're finding it. Oop. God dang it. There we go. Copy, paste. Um, uh, I agree with him. I really like what he said. Hey, if you want to go down the certification route, there's some definite benefits there. But if you don't need to get certified. So this is
Mhm.
all kind of for you. Now, if I'm learning this as a consultant. If you're like in the partner program, boy, Microsoft
Yeah.
is all about the certification. So it's very important to them that we get certified. So, but like you said, it ensures that you've got broad understanding and you go to a degree of technical depth on it, but it's definitively not the only way of knowing things. And um, frankly, I've seen a number of people that are certified but can't execute, right? Like,
A lot of people.
congratulations. Yeah, yeah, you passed the test, but you can't do it. So uh, that's kind of not as valuable, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, those
um,
are the kind of people that you hope end up getting into a position where they are constantly hands-on because they've got the book knowledge at that point. So
mhm,
it just becomes a matter of practice. But
yep, yeah, I agree. And you know what? I'm going to put this out there as the Fabric Friday challenge for you because I just thought of this. Is if you're hands off or if you're working in the fabric space,
mm,
create your own demo environment to execute and work on, right? Like, frankly, if you're pausing a fabric environment and you're only leaving it on when you're doing stuff, an F2 is exorbitantly inexpensive, right? Like, you can run it an hour a day and it's like $12 a month. So if
yeah,
you only do, if you do a handful of hours of training on the weekends or nights or whatever, you can get away with a very low bill on this where maybe it's even under $12 a month. That's Netflix, right? Set up your own personal fabric environment, load stuff out there, get it out there so that you can create you can create and get hands-on experience with it. Kristyna, do you have a demo environment?
yeah. I kind of have one. I pay for my own Power BI premium per user at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm adding an F2 to it as well.
Yep.
But I have Azure capacity already, so been kind of playing around with that. But yeah, I mean, definitely play around with it. I need to get an F2. It's on my list. So that's kind of one of the things I need to do for this year.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And it's
it's hard.
super easy. It's super easy to go out and do it, right?
Yeah, it's just hard to get over the hurdle of spending money sometimes. But to your point, like $12, I mean, you can be a little bit more vigilant with it if you want, right? If you're like, hey, I only want to spend X amount, you can set alerts up for those kind of things. There's lots of ways to manage that.
Yep. Yep. And
Oh,
just
so true.
and enterprise AR's comment is so spot on. It is a heck of a lot easier when you've got your own environment. When you're going in for a job interview, and this is true everywhere you'll ever be. The environment and the tools that they use is going to be a specific combination of tools,
Yeah.
right, for each company. Now, maybe Fabric will bring some uniformity to it so that oh, hey, we're in Fabric, so great. Now you know your sandbox, you're not trying all these other things. But as it stands today, every company is using some unique combination. Going into an interview where, like, oh, you're using, I don't know, Synapse and Synapse
Mm-hmm.
Studio. If you've got your own environment where you can kind of set it up, play with it a little bit, and then go in and talk to it, that's really helpful in getting through those interviews and having those conversations and saying, like, hey, yeah, I haven't worked with this tool in the past, but I spun one up yesterday in my Azure's demo environment, played with it, and then talk to that, right? That shows a degree of mastery that most people will never do, right?
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but if you ever do blogging, if you ever do videoing, you
Mhm.
need your own environment
Yeah.
because
Yep.
you can't share things that aren't yours, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, so having your own environment makes that a million times easier.
Hmm.
Um, and honestly more fun because you get to kind of just mess around with stuff. You're not really worried about breaking things because nobody's gonna know except you. So
Oh, that is so true. I mean, um, you know, the ability to not break something is a big deal, right? Like,
yeah,
hey, I want to change this admin setting. What does it do? What,
what does it really do? What?
right,
Yeah,
right. Not just what does the the little documentation say it does, but what does it actually do? That's a big difference, right?
Yeah,
Am I still live?
you are, I think.
Okay. Oh, I had some internet fluxes go on here. So okay. Good,
Yeah,
good,
we're
good.
still good.
Okay.
I'll
Um,
text you. Just be like, Chris, you're frozen.
yeah. Alt Enter is asking how much is an F2? Well, you can kind of see it right here. If you're doing the pay as you go, right, it's $226 or yeah, 260. I'm sorry, $262 a month. All right, so calculator time.
Actually, at the top, Chris, if you flip it from where it says show pricing in month, you can change that, I think, to hour. Yeah.
Oh, okay, look at that. So it's 36 cents an hour. So however many hours, let's say you want to set a budget at, you don't want to spend more than $10 a month. Divide by 0.36 cents. Okay, so that means you get 27 hours of training time for your $27 a month. And apparently, look, even someone will come and help you right with it.
Don't be fooled. It's just Chris behind the
Yeah.
scenes, They put this picture up
This
of
is
this
not
beautiful lady, but it's just Chris messaging you.
I guess the point is we could do this very inexpensively, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah. And have fun, right? Like yeah.
right.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
quite it's not like ADF pricing scares me, I'll be honest, because it's not exactly pay as you go in the same way that I'm used to with Power BI.
Mm-hmm.
It's pay as you go for what you're actually using it for. This is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want in that hour, which is nice.
Although I think the one thing I would like to understand more on is the whole bursting and smoothing, how that would work there. I mean, so you do have to have a little bit of concern there uh, in how that will end up playing out. And if you haven't
Especially if
seen
you're
the
turning
video
it
on,
off. Yeah.
yeah, when you turn it off and how much you use in that hour, um, so you could do a lot with an F2 and uh, you know, um, uh, I'm not terribly concerned with what the bursting and smoothing would be like, but just know that's something that you have to be aware of. If you want to know more about what bursting and smoothing is like, do check out. I've got a full video on that. It's kind of cool, but generally speaking, 36 cents an hour, unless you did something crazy to it, and then you'll be, um, yeah, then you might have some problems. But I don't think it allows you to go like crazy high, right?
No. And it's not going to charge you without telling you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So
Yeah.
it won't
So
bump you up. Yeah.
yes. Yes. Okay. My other goal for this year, let's keep going, is I'm going to be doing one of the first Fabric in a Day trainings, or taking part in that. Look for announcements. This is going to be coming out relatively soon. You can actually sign up and attend. They're going to be, it is the Fabric in a Day, but it's going to actually be broken out over many different days. And so be aware that that is going to be coming out. I'm going to be hosting the data warehouse portion of it with a co-host that I don't remember the name of it right now for some reason. So, but we will be, it's another MVP. We'll be doing that. But then I'm looking to host a Fabric in a Day in Wisconsin, where like people will be able to come and join and sign up for that. So, are you involved with the Fabric in a Day, Kristyna?
Yeah. So I've gone to one of the Fabric and like training a trainer kind of days. So I'm pretty excited.
Okay.
I haven't I'll be honest, it was like during a work day, so
Mhm.
I only popped in and out. So I'm excited to go back and review the material. But super cool and definitely a great way to learn at a great level how or
Mhm.
fabric, right? Where you're not too deep in the weeds, but you're deep enough to be dangerous, which is always
Sure.
a good place to be.
Yep. 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 That is good. Um, I Kevin, I don't think signed up for this. I know I don't know. I saw the list of people, and I don't think I saw Kevin's name on
Mhm.
there, but we can ask them when he gets back from vacation in a couple weeks and see what he says. So, it should be good. All right, cool. And then I have a personal thing, and I probably should have hit on this earlier, but one of my goals for 2024 is I'm looking to double the number of YouTube subscribers that I have. So fingers crossed, I want to go from 8,000 to 16,000 subscribers. So uh, here it is. This is for those of you who don't have a YouTube channel, this is your back of the scenes dashboard that helps you manage what goes on inside your YouTube space. Clearly, subscribers is your big thing. So if you like this content, do make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the alarm bell. All of that kicks in around this stuff. So do check that stuff out. We would really appreciate it and would love to have more people come and enjoy this content together. So,
And along those lines, if you guys haven't checked out Fabric 5 videos at Data on Wheels, check it out. They're not as in
yes.
depth as what Chris is doing, but they're 5-minute videos hosted by my dad, Steve Hughes, and they're pretty awesome. So definitely check it out. He's got a whole playlist of them, so you could even just watch them. I think he's got 6 of them, so it would take a half hour to get some pretty good knowledge on fabric under your wing. So
Yeah. And holy cow, he's starting to get some traction. His viewership has just recently jumped up out, so do check him out. He does have some really good videos there. So sharing that for you. They are quite good. And yeah, Donald Parrish is posting that he likes it.
sweet.
And Mark Walters is affirming it.
He's not sure if
Awesome.
he'll be able to do too many more, but he absolutely loved making the ones he did. So definitely
Okay.
check it out. And if you have questions or whatnot, put them in the comments, and we'll see what we can do to answer them. So
Awesome. 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 All right. And then so I have a goal of attending, and I'm already signed up for this, but it's attending the Microsoft Fabric conference. Kristyna, are you going to be able to come to this?
no, I think it's like right after sequel bits or during sequel bits. It's
Oh,
it's too
yeah.
close for me to fly again.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'll be doing the other fabric conference. There's another one that's all virtual in February. So um
Yes, I am in that as well. And thank you for reminding me. I got to put a
so
note on to make that presentation, get that together. So, good deal. But this one, please come out, join us in this is in Las Vegas, right? And like Arun's could be there, Amir, Adam, Patrick, Kim Manis, Bob.
wow.
Um, yeah, like literally all the big names, right? Like, holy cow, look at this.
Oh, Powers gonna
Um,
be there too.
yep, Alex Powers is going to be there. I
Nice.
can't wait to connect with him again. And Bogdan is going to be there. So for those of you who don't know, Bogdan runs like the engineering side of the house. Like he is the man. He's incredible. But it'd be super cool to meet with all these people. They're there. And honestly, if you have the opportunity to go hang around, talk with these people, they are super friendly. They are just like regular people that like want to make good products, want to hear from people the challenges they're having. And figure out like how they can better help us when it comes to things like oh, here's Matthew Roach. This is we were just talking about.
Yay.
Speak of the devil. um Great people. Do check them out. And hey, if you get a chance to meet with Wukaj, it's Wukaj. You don't actually, yeah, Wukaj. Um, he's awesome. But it's a fantastic. This is a fantastic group. You should definitely check this out if you get the opportunity. All right, but you're going to where you're presenting at Sequel Bits, right?
Yep. So I'm speaking at the there's the Fabric Conference, SQL Bits, and Atlanta BI as well in February. And Donald, I think, already dropped a link to that one. So
Okay.
yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited to hear too. There's another SQL Saturday in Atlanta, I think later on this year too. So that'll be fun when they announce that.
I don't know how people keep up with all this stuff. It's like a full-time job.
It is, Chris. I looked at my calendar the other day and I was like, all right, I got to plan my off months. Like that's really what I got to start doing is figuring out when I can not be traveling.
When you can not be traveling? Okay.
Mhm. But I
I'll
love
post a link
travel.
for Sequel Bits in there as well, so people sign up. What's the theme this year? You said last year was Dungeons and Dragons.
It's
What are they doing
aviation this year, which I'm not totally sure what to do with. I'm like, but that's okay. Should be fun.
All right.
So,
All right. Yeah, fair enough. I saw the planes and stuff on the screen here, and I was like, I don't like what is that? But okay, this works, you know.
well, and they always want you to
there it is.
like change your name for of the presentation, and I was like, well, I could not think of a good one for aviation, so I was just
Did you
grateful.
ask Bing Chat or
I should have. Oh, I should have.
Copilot? You know, like straight up, this is a lifesaver for me.
You know, Copilot has, or not even Copilot, but Bing Image Creator has upped my PowerPoint game significantly.
Oh yeah.
Got great PowerPoints now with those images.
Right. You can do some really fantastic stuff there. All right. So, so what else are you looking to do? Let's start to like. Okay, so you're looking. You know, we talked about your personal training. We talked about what you're going to train for other people. What are you thinking about when it comes to more of the communal aspect? What are your areas that you're focusing on?
Yeah, so I currently run the Lexington user group with Matt Gordon, and so we have had a blast growing that community. We're looking forward to growing it even more and hopefully get some more local speakers. So if you're in the Lexington area and you want some free food and free drinks, let us know. We'll hook you up and we'll get you speaking at pretty nice user group. We've been AI focused a lot, which has been awesome because we've combined a couple of the user groups. So if that interests you, come on by. But that's kind of the big community push other than like the speaking and then Data on Wheels actually. So my dad has run that blog, I mean, over 10 years now. I think we're at 12 years. And he had his peak viewership was 2016 at about 60,000 views for the year.
Holy cow.
So this year we hit 50,000. So I'm excited to see that going back up for the since 2019 we've been building it back up, and so my goal for that next year is to get to like 75,000 views and crush our old record. So, and yeah, Lexington, Kentucky. Yep. Sorry, I should have been more specific.
Looking for the okay. So all right. So you're now helping your dad here. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he added me to the blog in 2019 when I first started learning Power BI. So it's been really fun. I kind of took a little bit of a hiatus during the wedding planning, so I've got a bunch of drafts that I need to finish.
Look at this! I know this.
Yeah, that's Kyle, my husband. And then we got a good picture of me and Dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I figured I should do an announcement of sorts before I just start changing my name everywhere. So people know why.
Who the heck is Kristyna Ferris?
I know. Well, on like LinkedIn, I put Hughes in parentheses so people can, yeah, at least for a little bit, you know.
Well, all right. Well, everyone, let's bookmark Kristyna and Steve's Data on Wheels blog. Let's make sure that we get that in there, right? So
Yeah. Thank you.
come on now. Make sure that
Yeah.
we keep an eye on that so we don't lose track of anything you got going there. Let's help. Let's make sure you guys hit that 70,000 views this year. So
Well, yeah, and we got to get you to 20,000 subscribers. So
yes. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I'm down with the quilt theme for the record.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
My sister-in-law runs a quilting business and has been for I think she's
What?
approaching a decade. She has now 5 seamstresses that work for her, and it's all
You haven't
handmade.
commissioned a quilt yet?
I actually have. I have a quilt. It's in the other room from her. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's our 4th of July quilt that we break out at. Maybe we're not supposed to do this, but we break out for the fireworks. Like we take it out and we put it out.
Oh.
It's all like patriotic colors and stuff. It's really pretty cool. Yeah.
I think you might need to get it, Chris, eventually here. Maybe next week we can put it on the live stream.
Oh, there we go. There we are. Yes. We will do that. And send her some business. I know. Well, actually, I know she's super busy, but small businesses always need more, right? So
yeah, it never hurts. Get a little advertising from those
Yeah.
8,000 subscribers that you got. So why not?
Soon to be 20,000.
Soon to be
Rewatching
20,000.
it. Yes. Soon to be 20,000. Right. So I guess similar to you in that space, I am looking to build out more of the Microsoft Fabric user group. So we have been trying to get this up and running. Like this group kind of took a hiatus during COVID. Last year we had a big swing in place where I think we had 11 speakers last year. So if you're in the Southeast Wisconsin area, do check it out. We are going to be live streaming on my channel, so it will, on this channel, it will be live streamed and available. So we're going to be doing more in this space as well.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, and I'm always sad that we connected briefly while I lived in Minnesota, and then I moved to Kentucky. But Chris is awesome.
What the heck happened there? Is your husband from Kentucky?
No.
Just randomly chose a state? Like went, no, here?
Well, I mean, my dad's family is all down here, and so
okay, all right.
I always thought I'd retire here because it's way warmer and way cheaper to live than Minnesota. So, but just ended up doing that early. Got my dream house early. So, and now I got the husband. So, pretty much set.
Knocking that stuff out, right? That's fantastic.
I don't consider him an item on my checklist, for the record. I feel like I should make that clear.
Probably a good thing to demarcate, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Compare the taxes. That does make
I got a
it
raise,
easy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a raise when I moved too. It's awesome. Well, my husband even more so. He moved from LA. So.
Oh my. Yeah. That's fantastic. And actually, so that's interesting. As you know, or some people know, we've packed up a lot of our house. We are preparing for a move. We think we are going to be heading towards someplace local here, but you never know. Maybe we're headed to Kentucky or someplace south. It gets cold in Wisconsin.
It does,
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like some days you just wake up with a chill in your bones, and you're.
Mm-hmm.
It's super, super cold. So.
Well, that alone was the main reason we moved south, because with the ALS my dad's got, it was painful in the cold. So well, let's go somewhere very warm. So
yeah.
I don't believe you, Donald. I don't believe you like paying taxes.
It's literally not been something that anyone has ever said. So, and we had, and LinkedIn has got to up their game with integration with stuff, because we have and I'm sorry that this isn't coming through, but we have LinkedIn user has a, always great promoting women-owned small businesses. So we will do a little plug here. If you're looking to get anything embroidered, or you need a custom quilt or whatnot, you can head over to this website, Classic Embroidery, and they can do all of that stuff for you. Get your hats, your t-shirts, your whatever embroidered.
Very cool.
They can get that out for you. They do a really good job. Where is it? Inside here, you just go into like catalogs, and you can find like literally Nike stuff and whatever. You can just order there. I want 20 of whatever, and I want this thing embroidered on it, and they can handle all that stuff for you. And they
Wow.
do, yeah, all in Wisconsin, all with U.S. labor and stuff. So it's a nice thing that she's got up and running there. So do check
That's
that.
so cool.
Yeah, yeah. Working on some no DAX columns, embroidered merchandise as well. So might be seeing that come. If you show up to the Fabric Conference, we might have those in time for that. We'll see.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So would love to hear. We've kind of like gone through, Kristyna, your resolutions, my resolutions. Would love to hear what resolutions people have in the chat. What are you guys thinking about? Like, what are the things that you would like to get done inside of Fabric this year? And I'm gonna, like, while you're typing that in, I'm gonna actually elaborate on the challenge that I have for people in the Fabric space. Okay, so I would challenge you to create a Fabric capacity. So number one, create a Fabric capacity. Even if it's a trial, get your own trial tenant up and running. Create your own lake house. Create your own data warehouse. Learn how to manage that. Learn how to manage a gateway that you have that you load information into from on-prem. Learn how you manipulate it through notebooks, right? Learn just some basics of it. You don't have to go into like a full-on. Oh, this is one of my tests of using the Copilot notebook capabilities. You don't have to do all of that, but like learn what the heck a magic word is, or how to do an install, or why you would do that stuff, right? Test that out. Test out like what is OneLake. Test out those capabilities. Get those installed on your home system so that you can go in and say, okay, hey, I get it. This is where OneLake comes in integration, right? This is how I build stuff out. Yeah, I think Mark has a great goal here of like share medallion structure with other developers and become more fluent with PySpark. That's fantastic. Yep. Put it. Yeah, that's right. It's get these things up and running inside of your own personal tenants, so that you know what this actually means, right? You know what it means to run your gateways, to go in and be able to like go into the admin portal. I would imagine a lot of you don't have access to an admin portal. What does this even look like, right? What are all these things here? Like, oh my gosh, what are my new things here? Oh, look at this.
I love that
Semantic
they added
models.
this.
What's that?
I love that they added this feature at the top where you can just see what's changed, because
Yeah, this is fantastic. And this is becoming increasingly fantastic because Fabric is becoming so big now. It's not just Power BI. It's all of these components. And components are being slowly rolled out to different regions based upon like limitations that exist in the real world. Like the GPUs that are necessary to power Copilot have only been installed in X number of data centers. You know, That means that they're not everywhere yet. They don't have the GPUs installed. They're being installed. As they get installed, as they come online, if you're an admin, you'll start to see other features show up here. And it's a great thing to go in and check out. Now, I do think it's interesting. Domains has been highlighted as new for a while. Do you know if there's new things in the domain space?
Not that I know of, but I think they still market it. I think it's still being marketed is maybe a
As
good
new?
way to
I
put that.
gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe they are new stuff. I honestly haven't really used them yet. I've
Okay.
heard a lot about them,
Well, it looks
but
like you're using it right here, but
well, that's because I was trying it out, Chris. Chris has been gracious enough to let me also play the sandbox a little bit.
uh,
Uh,
you might find your license is no longer active.
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair, Chris. No, that's responsible management right there.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Well, and the other thing that I've been doing, and just people may not know this, I work a lot in very large organizations, help them move in that space. But one of the things I've done for a long time is I have managed my own personal environments, personal expenses in the cloud space. So I understand what it means to say, hey, small business owner, I
Mm,
think you should take on this additional cost, right? Because I have seen that value that it brings in. I
mm.
understand what that cost implication is, but I can more clearly articulate it, and I've been through that that the cost of that, and I understand what that means on an ongoing basis. My wife does not appreciate that I spend that money, but I do. So.
My husband really likes 4K DVDs, so I just tell him that it's cheaper than the 4Ks that he really loves. So we're all
Oh
square on that one.
well, yeah, that will definitely be less expensive than 4K DVDs. There's no doubt.
But you know what? His point is that 4Ks is something we can share. So we're still up in the air on that one. But
All right. Well, all right. Yeah, I yes, you could share the
but
4K DVD.
but no, I completely agree with you, Chris. This is awesome. I love this challenge. I'm excited to see what comes out of it. Um, I think it'd be really cool if people do it and then comment or, at us on LinkedIn or at Twitter with your experiences with it, because it would be very cool to hear how that goes for everybody. And if you're running into issues, right? This is a community, it's not an
Mm-hmm.
island. So you guys can definitely reach out to us if you've got problems. It helps us learn too. So,
Well, that would be yes. This is a challenge. Go out there, do this. Tag us if you have issues. Let's help each other go make this a reality and make this happen. Because we are not alone on this island. Let's help each other out. Let's give a hand down to the people that are trying to work their way up, and let's help them get on this same footing. So,
well, and
um,
celebrate the wins, right, Chris? I mean,
yeah,
it's New Year's. We got a party.
right. Yes.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And yeah, people should get caught up on my fabric videos as well as guys.
If they aren't already, Chris. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yep. And I honestly, I think this is another great goal is to simplify the explanation of fabric to people because people don't know what it is, right? So explaining this to people, I think, is a good idea. Um, Kristyna, do you have a good explanation for what fabric is?
Under a minute. That's the trick, I think, is
Yes,
being able
okay.
to explain it in like an elevator talk or an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Um, which I think is technically like 10 seconds. Yeah. I guess I've done it before at different user groups, and the big thing I always tell people is, all these different tools that you've been using now that come into Fabric. So I think of it as like a OneDrive folder that can house my Excel, my Word doc, and my PowerPoint. Now I've got a Fabric workspace that can house my ADF, my data lake, warehouse, and Power BI reports.
I love it. That's fantastic. And the more the better we can get at these 10-second burn downs, the better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
we are at the time, so we have to give people set them free. Kristyna, any last parting words before we run?
Um, just happy New Year, guys. I think you guys are all awesome, and I'm really grateful I got this chance to hop on the live stream with you, Chris, because we always have a good time, and I love hearing about your goals for the year.
Awesome. I'm very grateful for you joining us today, Kristyna. Are you gonna be able to come back next week?
I am, yes. So
2 weeks with Kristyna. This is look out, Kevin. You got someone gunning for your job.
I can't compete with Kevin. Are you kidding me? I don't have nearly enough hats, you know?
Yeah. Happy New Year, everyone. I really hope and look forward to like what we're going to be doing in 2024. Please share how you do in the fabric space. Tag Kristyna and myself, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Happy New Year. Talk to you in 2024. Peace. Oh, that didn't do it. Different button. Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.